Welcome everyone. I'm Julie from the Feedfeed, and we're so excited that you're here today at Food Loves Tech. This is super exciting for me to be partnering with Chef Mike Anthony from Gramercy Tavern. We're doing a dish together, which is also really exciting.
We've never done this.
No, we've never done this before, but we're excited to be working together. We've talked about it for a while. If you don't know about Feedfeed, we're a crowdsourced community of people who love to cook. A media company, a website. Check us out on social media at the Feedfeed if you like to cook, if you like recipes. We're all about sharing what our amazing content contributors make from all over the world. And it's super exciting for us because we've partnered with Vitamix to host this test kitchen. If you don't have a Vitamix and you want one, we're actually doing a giveaway. So everybody's wristband will enter you into a chance to win a Vitamix. We're giving away tons of Vitamix this weekend. So just go over to the Feed. Yeah, go over to the Feedfeed. Our booth is right behind, and they can scan your wristband, and then you're entered for a chance to win a Vitamix. This particular Vitamix is super fun. It has a lot of different attachments. I'll be showing how to make a hummus in it. But let's talk a little bit about what we're making. And Mike, do you want to tell a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, my name is Mike Anthony. I'm the executive chef at Gramercy Tavern. And anyone, thank you. Anyone who has ever worked with me, and there are some of you in the crowd, know how much I love working with Vitamix, so it's a pleasure to be here. Some of you may not know how much I love working with Julie and Dan and how much we admire what they've built with the Feedfeed. So we are so psyched to be here. Thank you for making this happen.
Of course.
And then I want to tell you just a little bit about what we're making today. We're making a bison meatball. So we have the pleasure to get to work with Honest Bison, which is an amazing product from Wisconsin. I don't know how many of you are familiar with eating bison. How many of you have eaten bison? Okay, in the last year. Pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty high percentage.
But there's still work to do there. An amazing product because it's humanely raised and innovative techniques of processing the animals in the field so they never go through the stressful process of making their way into slaughterhouses. It produces a sweet, relatively lean meat that is both healthy and high in iron. And you're going to get to taste it because we're not only going to make this, we have plenty of samples. If you love it, ask for a second. We've got a lot here. I want to point out Sean, who's here, who's the president of this company and a rancher himself, and also will be able to tell you more specifics about this meat. And I'm going to season it in a way that it has appeared on the menu at Gramercy Tavern using some other sources of meat. And then we're going to season it. I thought it might go well with the hummus that Julie's presenting. We're going to make a harissa sauce. That's a bit of a generalization for this pepper sauce that we're going to make, but don't worry, I'll walk you through it.
Awesome. All right, you want to get started?
Do you want to get at it? Okay. So, by the way, a quick thank you to Evan, who we just tied into this story at the last moment. He's very good at this sort of thing. Evan is a sous chef at Untitled Restaurant, and hello, Nell. There are some other specialists back there. I'm taking about 2,000 grams of bison. That is roughly about 3 pounds. And I'm going to season it with sugar and salt.
And what's the ratio of sugar to salt, Mike?
So this is about 40 grams to 2,000. So about a half a cup to 3 pounds.
More salt than sugar.
Oh.
Or more sugar than salt.
One third sugar, 2/3 salt.
Okay.
And we're going to use about a tablespoon of sweet paprika. And we'll do this at the same time. Cumin and just a touch of cardamom and chili flakes. Can you see this on the screen behind us?
Yes, they should be.
I'm gonna ask Julie to mix in about a tablespoon of rehydrated currants.
And when you say rehydrated, what have you
Well,
rehydrated them
They were
with?
raisins, and then we
what kind of liquid?
rehydrated them with a little bit of sherry vinegar and a touch of simple syrup.
I asked that because I definitely smelled and it wasn't water.
Right. A little bit of lemon zest. Maybe about the half of this lemon will be enough. We just want it to give a little hint without really hiding the great flavor of this meat. And then just a little touch of, this could either be finely minced or chopped, or I'm using this grater for a touch of garlic, about 1 clove. And we use a little breadcrumb to bring some moisture.
If you want to, panko?
In this case, panko. It's dry, stores well. If you have stale bread, it's a great way to use up leftover products. And then about 2 egg whites.
How much do you want all of this, or no?
Let's do about half of that.
Okay. Actually, I like to make breadcrumbs in my Vitamix. So I always have like little bits and ends of bread that goes stale, and then I keep it all together in one big bag, and then when I'm ready, I actually just blend it up, and it turns into a perfectly fine powder of breadcrumbs. Do you want any more?
Let's see here. Yeah, go ahead. I think maybe it'll help the moisture of. Great. You want to make a couple how about a splash of olive oil in the pan?
Yep.
Now, one of the things to remember with meatballs is that it depends how you like them. Some people like to barely work the meat, and Sean was telling me how, making reference to bison steaks, but the same is true of the ground meat, that it's such high quality that you can think of it like sushi. And so with a beautiful quality meat like this, perfectly great to cook it rare and eat it as is. We make hamburgers, for example, at Gramercy Tavern, and the idea is packing them so gently that they barely hold together. Another concept, though, is to work the meat just a little bit, and the myosin in the meat builds just a touch, and you can see that it starts just getting a touch sticky, and that creates an interesting bouncy effect. It kind of depends how you like to eat them. So I'm going to go right in between with just a little touch.
And how hot do you want the pan?
I'm going to heat this to, well,
it's pretty low, I think.
Let's go ahead and turn it up a little higher. A medium-high pan. When I'm cooking at home, my mom always gets nervous when the smoke comes out of the pan. I'm like, I'm a professional mom. But it can get pretty hot. What we want to do is build a little brown on the outside without drying out the meat. Yep. So I would say, we can turn that guy. Wow. How high does it go?
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let it.
Actually, there's high fry.
That's high. Let's see what happens here. Do you? You
want me to put some gloves on and help you out here?
That would be great.
Do you have any more gloves?
Oh yes, I do. You know what? I was hiding them. They're right.
Oh yeah.
I'll try to incorporate all those spices, currants. There's a little bit of sweetness that comes through with the sugar and the currants. A little bit of heat from the chili flakes.
It smells delicious already. Okay. It's heating up. I'm going to turn it down a little.
Okay. There's the smoke.
I feel the smoke. But you tell me.
I might have made that one a little small.
Okay.
But we can just show everybody how it's really very easy, and these can be done in advance. Put them on a sheet tray and then wait till the moment that you really need them.
How are we there?
I think we're good.
Okay.
The temperature of the pan will come down as we add things to it. Remember, that's the time not really to touch them as they're browning nicely, and then in a second we'll move them around so that the caramelization evens out. Hello.
Any questions? Yep. Sugar and salt. How are we on the temperature?
I think we're good.
You're good.
It's okay. We'll let it just keep on cranking there. We don't have to do all of these because
Yeah.
we actually
You're bringing-
we cheated. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, totally. In fact, that's what we used in this round. Yeah, you'll get to taste them, and it's okay if it's if they're larger, less uniform breadcrumbs as well. They once they are in the mix, they do something wonderful.
You want me to put any more oil in, or are we good?
I think it's good.
Okay.
I'll roll them around in a
Okay.
minute. We'll let them cook. Well, are we going to go to the hummus
Yeah.
next? Okay.
Yeah, I can actually do that soon.
Yeah, and then these, I'll watch them. And
Okay.
Smells good. Can you start to smell the spices? Sean, I hope we're doing you proud.
This is very Instagram chat about what we do and why I'm standing here.
Yeah, so you might notice that not only do we have a beautiful tray here to plate these on afterwards, we always, Feedfeed, we're all about getting great photos of food. So we always have different surfaces. We bring our own lighting wherever we go. We have props, different textiles. We're always thinking about how a dish looks, and which actually helps with the flavor. I find that when you layer a dish and you bring in a lot of different colors and textures, not only does it taste better, but it looks better when you're taking a photograph.
I like that you talked about a layering effect. We're actually going to try to accomplish that with a couple of different ingredients too. So some of them are pickled, some are raw, some are cooked. Sometimes ingredients in dishes will repeat themselves, so it amplifies that layering effect and echoing effect.
Yeah.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so while Mike is watching those meatballs, I'm going to make the hummus. We got a lot of hummus. So basically, if you've ever made homemade hummus, right here I have chickpeas. If you want, you can buy dried chickpeas and actually boil them yourself. These were actually from a can. And I'm actually using some of the liquid from the can to help to thin the chickpea, to thin the hummus a little bit, which is actually called aquafaba. I don't know if anyone has used aquafaba. And Mike, do you use aquafaba in anything?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, so it's actually the liquid from the chickpeas. So you can actually make a vegan meringue. A lot of vegan dishes use aquafaba because it actually basically is similar to egg whites.
Fantastic.
Which is cool. Okay.
We could use the aquafaba to hold the meatballs together.
We could. All right, I spilled a few. So I do have some of that liquid in here. We have some tahini. Actually, this tahini is really special to us. We're big fans of Seed and Mill. I don't know if you've ever had their tahini, Seed and Mill, but that's what this is, Seed and Mill tahini. Check them out at Chelsea Market. Not only do they sell tahini, but they have a lot of halva and frozen yogurt, I guess. Thanks. I'm just going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. Just whole right in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of jalapeno for some spice. The nice thing about the Vitamix is you really don't have to chop it up that much. It's going to take everything and blend it to a nice creamy consistency. Actually, we have a strainer. Oh, here's the strainer.
Go ahead and hold that.
Thanks, yeah. How are those? Are they browning too much?
No, I think they're good. They're starting to
They smell delicious.
really. Can you guys smell them out there? Can you smell them in the back row?
I really like a lemony hummus. Oftentimes I actually add lemon zest to my hummus as well. I'm gonna add. I think I do add more lemon than this.
I like it.
Good.
That's important.
Yeah, he's my husband. a little bit of salt, and this is smoked paprika. Okay, so I'm gonna blend this up. One thing to think about when you're blending in the Vitamix is that you want to start at a low speed and then gradually increase the speed. I have a lot of salt here. Thank you. Here we go. And this is a tamper. You just use it along the sides to incorporate everything in. Hold on one sec.
That's powerful.
That is powerful.
That is the
Oftentimes,
most
your
amazing
neighbor
thing.
might knock on your door if you're in a New York City apartment and you've been like blending like nut butters all afternoon. They're like, "What is going on
If you
in
walk
there?"
by the kitchen
The
at
walls are
Untitled or
vibrating.
Gramercy Tavern during the morning, you hear that noise. Do you want a splash of this, or do you have
Yeah,
enough liquid?
yeah.
I'll let you.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Just dump it in.
How's that?
Thank you. I think we're pretty good.
Like a speedboat.
Yeah. All right, I think we're good.
But it's that high velocity that allows you to make things that come out completely homogenized like that, right? It's a normal blender doesn't seem to have that power to be able to take the chunks out of what you're making.
You can also make a soup directly in the Vitamix. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
Oh, yeah.
But say you have roasted squash and some onions, and garlic, vegetable stock. You can literally throw it in here, and it has a soup setting. And it runs for about 5 minutes, and it comes out the perfect temperature to drink right out of the Vitamix.
So I make bean soup at home,
Uh-huh.
and the bean soup as is, which is delicious and beautiful, cooked nicely, with my 3 daughters. No, thank you. When I put it in the Vitamix and I blend it and it comes out perfectly smooth, all of a sudden it's magic bean soup. It goes over. I just go with it. I don't ask why.
Awesome. So we have plenty of hummus.
Okay.
That's ready to go.
All right, fantastic. Do we have? Oh, we have one more.
Yeah. We have plenty of these.
Okay, great. Are we going to go into the harissa now?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
I'm going to turn this down just a touch, so that it just
Thanks, Molly.
finishes slowly. And then so we have our hummus. We have the meatballs that are cooking. We wanted to add just a little heat, a little excitement, a little pizzazz. So little by little, we've been using more of the peppers that are grown in this area, peppers that friends have brought back from Mexico. And this is loosely called a harissa pepper sauce. And to make it, we're going to mix charred bell peppers, which I took the opportunity to make before we came here. Literally,
You want to talk about how you make your charred peppers?
at home, you could just stick them on a long fork and then hold them over the burner. It feels a little primitive, but it chars the skin of the pepper and it comes out really dark. And you think for sure the first time you're doing it that you're ruining this. But the reality of it is you can see that once you chop it up, the char adds a really beautiful flavor, and it doesn't really look as dark and ruined as you might think as you're cooking it. It smells pretty good, right?
Yeah.
We took most of the seeds out, although there are a couple in there. It really depends on if you want any texture left in this sauce. I mentioned that some of the peppers grown here make for a great sauce. We went ahead and took, this is called an ají amarillo. You can buy this in your favorite store, and they come dried, so they're really great to have in your pantry. We rehydrated this in water, and I'm gonna squeeze some of the excess water out, but then we're gonna go ahead and blend this whole thing. And is it okay if it gets a little hot? Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a New Mex, a New Mex Swab pepper that also adds an interesting fruity quality and a little bit of smokiness. We're leaving this skin on
I
it.
was just going to ask you about
Yeah,
that.
it'll have a little texture as we eat this, and I think it'll actually complement the kind of silkiness. I'm gonna just
Do you
pull.
wanna cut it more?
You know what? I'll just pull it off.
Okay.
There is a little stem on the poblano, and this poblano has been charred as well.
Okay.
Here is just an example. I'm not going to add this one to our mix, but you can see here's an example of what the charred pepper looks like. Can you see this on?
Yeah, you can see on the camera.
How's that?
You want to put some on a plate?
Yeah, sure. You really want it to get this dark because that flavor at the end of the day will help. I took the opportunity to cook some garlic and shallots. You can just lightly saute them in olive oil. A little brown color is completely welcome.
And Mike, do you just rub off these charred bits of your peppers, or you actually leave them?
As we cooked, some fell off, but we kind of, whatever stayed attached, we left.
Okay.
We left there.
So you have a lot of peppers in here, right?
This is going to be a spicy sauce, and it's going to form with the help of these shallots or onions and garlic, and then the meat of those peppers. When we blend it in this high-power blender, it's going to form a consistency that's not really that different from the hummus that you made.
Right.
I'm going to take a little vinegar.
If someone were to make this at home, how long would this last, and how would you recommend? Because this is a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work, all these different kinds of peppers, but the payoff is huge. The flavors, I'm sure it's very complex and delicious.
In the fridge, this would last, as long as you don't put your hands in there and you use a spoon to dip out and keep it covered at a refrigerated temperature, would last for a month.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put a fair amount of vinegar in there, which has a preserving effect. Now, I'm going to add one more secret ingredient. This would be great, but we kind of took the opportunity to take chilies and salt them and then let them ferment, which in fact this could probably stay for months on the counter and wouldn't even need to be refrigerated. The reason why I want to add this to it is I just want you to taste it. It adds a certain complexity, not really heavy flavors, just a beautiful acidity and a little interesting peppery heat.
And what kind of peppers?
In this case, we use...
Or is this a secret?
No, I mean, we really use peppers that were available to us from the market.
Okay.
Ají dulce peppers, Fresno peppers to give it that nice bright color. I actually saved a little bit of the liquid from the Fresno pickled Fresno peppers to add, like the sherry, that adds just a little bit more acidity. And then we're gonna do the same thing.
Salt or no?
Yeah, let's give it a good shot. We can always add more. We'll give it a taste.
Okay.
If I season it too heavily now, there's not much I can do to take it out.
All right.
This is a new unit.
This is the new.
I haven't played with this yet. The interesting thing is, did you see it's very chunky? It doesn't even fill more than a third of the container, but when Julie turned it on, it immediately catches. How many times have you filled your blender up and then you turn it on and it's like, zzz, and nothing catches and you're like, ah. And then you have to figure out how to, and this is just, I think, one of the most amazing things about this piece of equipment.
And you want to turn it up? That dial will turn it up.
That accelerator, we're holding on carefully, but I mean, it's...
You don't need to.
I think we were just, neither one of us want to see this. That would make great TV. All right, let's give it a taste.
Okay, perfect.
Let's see here. This is actually a new improved lid from what I'm used to using, and it makes it really easy to...
It attaches
this
right on.
might be hot.
Okay. Great. Oh my god. It's not too hot.
It's not too
I
hot.
taste the sherry.
It's a little hot.
It's great.
It's gaining in strength. I think you're gonna like it.
Awesome.
All right.
Delicious.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So on its own, if you really don't have all of those ingredients, you can make this with a red bell pepper. Buy it from the green market, char it, it'll taste great. Add to it what you can, and the complexity comes with the, what you add.
Awesome. Love it.
These meatballs are looking good.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know what?
Yeah.
May I give this to Evan to
Absolutely.
also kind of like start in? And do you want to do the honors with the beauty plate?
No, it's fine. You got it.
Okay.
I'll let you.
All right. I'm going to give it my best effort here.
We also have other spoons if you want.
Does that work?
It's perfect. We could have gone actually even creamier. I could have added more aquafaba. It would be a little bit more liquidy. Some people like a chunky hummus. This is a pretty smooth hummus.
Is that enough?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Do you want to let it rip? We're going to give you a taste of this. And then
What can I help you with?
maybe you want to do the sauce?
Yeah.
Wherever.
Hold on. Okay.
Sean, I hope we're doing you proud with this one.
How would you do it?
Maybe just like a plop on the
Okay.
plop and a drizzle.
A plop and a drizzle.
Yeah,
Hold on.
that's good.
Yeah.
Totally.
Maybe that's too fat.
No,
It's
it's
like
all
a
good.
heart.
And we'll add some of these other
Yeah,
things
great.
behind it. Is everyone feeling confident about this? I think it smells so good. I think you're in for a real treat here.
That one went the wrong way. We can cover that one. Yeah, I can't get this thing off. I've just been turning it off like this. My drizzles were bad. He asked me to do it.
Okay.
I got nervous.
It looks good. It looks good.
They're so good.
I know.
Watch this.
Here,
All right, let's see.
we
Can I
can
steal
fix it.
one of these?
Actually, that one doesn't have.
Keep on trucking. Wait till you see Evan. This is the real specialist over here. And then
No, I think it'll be fine.
It'll be fine once we
one of
start
these.
garnishing
Oh
it.
yeah.
I don't have any tweezers though.
I think we'll just kind of let them fly.
Okay. And what are these?
So these are saffron pickled onions, some parsley, and raw pieces of cauliflower.
Awesome. Maybe I'll cover up my mess up one after you put that on.
We were talking about layering, and
Yes.
all we're doing is adding some little piles of things that if we had all these just in a separate bowl at the table, we'd end up picking from each bowl, and we're just putting it on one plate. I would feel comfortable with you guys sending those out there. Go
Yeah.
for it. And then maybe these guys just
Yeah.
wherever
Perfect. Land.
we talk a lot about plating in the restaurant, and the no plate looks the same in the restaurant, which may be a little bit counterintuitive. You think most restaurants are striving for absolute consistency, but I've always felt that if you're only aiming for consistency, then really all you're going to hit is a mediocre flavored dish. And what we do is compromise all the time So in this case, I kind of jokingly say, what if we just threw all this stuff up in the air and it happened to just harmoniously lay the way it just hit the plate?
It actually looks good.
The hardest thing to photograph.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that looks pretty
It's
playful.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Great. So there's
Awesome.
bison meatballs with hummus and harissa.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. And we have samples coming around.